Welcome, my viewers, for today's talk show. I would like to make this general and humble appeal that as you listen to us, your comments will be appreciated. Because what I want to share with you is something that comes from my own heart, something which I've thought about over the years, and I want to share it out with friends outside there and those who dare to listen. I may be wrong in some of the things that I'm going to share with you, but you'll have to forgive me that I also have the right to speak my mind as a Kenyan. We have been discussing various issues, touching on so many things, ranging from social justice, things touching on our own nation, which is so divided along ethnic lines. I've been touching on the continent of Africa and the myriad issues affecting our continent. And so far, I'm very happy that some of the feedbacks I've been getting are very encouraging. So today, during our midweek presentation, I want to touch on Parliament. Parliament as an institution. After the amalgamation of the new Constitution in 2010, we came with two bicameral parliament. That means parliament which is divided into two. We have the Senate, which deals primarily with issues affecting the county governments, with executive powers, even to dissolve or to recommend the solution of a county assembly, so long as any county has failed to live up to its mandate. We have the National Assembly. National Assembly has more representatives from all the constituencies, together with women reps from every counties, and on top of that, we also have the nominated MPs. Very big size indeed. And then one of the main focus for our National Assembly or for our Parliament is simply to speak, to protect the interest of the people it represents. Parliament has the role of providing oversight to the way the government is managing the economy, the way the government is leading the people. So it is supposed to be, as an oversight body, it has the constitutional authority to control the way the government manages the resources of the people. of the resources of this country. That's why we have our representatives there. And it's the biggest representation or organ in the country. But if you consider the way our parliament is structured, you will notice one very important thing, that the parliament we have is no longer morally or even legislative concept of governance. I want you to edit that part. You will edit that part. It has not come out clear. If you look at our parliament today, we have so many people doing nothing in parliament. There are some members of parliament who have never even made maiden speech in parliament. They are there, they are earning money, they are earning allowances, they are earning whatever you could consider as empty package which they take home. They have never spoken a word. They are there keeping quiet. They have never even moved any motion in parliament. They have never even called the government into account. Every year, the Auditor General gives a report on government expenditure. And revelation we always get is how the government has mismanaged the funds allocated to its various arms. Corruption has been at the peak of everything else. Nothing has been done. Parliament has never come up with an instrument or with a mechanism of bringing the executive into account. But anytime some sober MPs, very few, anytime they come up to question the way the government is spending public funds, there's never been any positive response from the government. Instead, they have been condemned as anti-government. They have been labeled different names. Parliament is there to safeguard the interests of the public and to protect the public from the excesses of the executive. That is what oversight role means. It has a constitutional mandate to do that. But as it is now, Parliament has never, and in my view, this Parliament will never act responsibly to safeguard the interest of Kenyans. Instead, members of Parliament, majority of them, have aligned, have made a sort of a cartel to scuttle democracy by singing what the executive wants, by beating the drums of the executive at every time. So the executive and parliament have become one and the same institution. A situation like this does not give space for transparency and accountability of our processes to be made manifest. Kenyans must call their MPs into account. We did not send these MPs to Parliament to go and protect the government or the executive. We sent them to Parliament to go and protect our interests as the electorate. That's why they are elected, to represent, to be our mouthpiece. Not all Kenyans can go to Parliament to voice their their concerns or to protect their interests. That's why we have a representative system where we elect a few who could go and stand in the gap for us. So if you know that you are a member of parliament and you have not lived up to your expectation, then think again. Whether your interest is to serve the executive or to serve yourselves and your family and your friends, but not the electorate, the people who elected you. More often than not, we fail to understand whether Kenya has an opposition in the government or in parliament. If the members of the opposition and members who are aligned to the ruling party are speaking the same language, something is wrong. Whenever you see the unity of members of parliament, it is only when their interest is at stake. But when the interests of the people of Kenya is at stake, they will show considerable silence. There will be a lot of lobbying from the executive, wing them on their side. This is an affront to democratic procedures in parliament, where parliament is supposed to stand in the gap on behalf of the people, not to stand in the gap for the government. There must be a separation of responsibilities between members of parliament and the executive. These are two different functions. In parliament, we don't have the opposition. In parliament, we have members of parliament. That is the first and most important responsibility. What is your role as member of parliament? Before you stand on behalf of the ruling party or on behalf of the executive. Today is very difficult. We don't know even which is the ruling party we have in our Kenyan National Assembly. Because things are so mixed up. So I want to urge all Kenyans to ensure that their MPs, they call their MPs into account. And if they cannot stand in for them, please come 2027, remove some of these people and allow those who can stand in on our behalf to lead in their places. So Kenya must redefine what parliamentary democracy is all about. It's not all about eating. So we urge each and every member, each and every person who is listening to me today, that our parliament has become moribund because of greed by members of parliament, because of manipulation by the executive, and because of selfish interest that they are promoting at the expense of the people of Kenya. Have your say, as I also have mine. Thank you. And we urge you to give a comment and also subscribe as we proceed on next week. We meet you again.